Welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel, you guys, and today we are making pesto bread, a twisted pesto bread. We have made cinnamon twisted bread and chocolate twisted bread together. Today we are going to do a pesto, and I'm super excited. I'm making an Italian dish, like a baked ziti in my oven tonight for dinner, and this bread is going to go perfectly with it. So we're just gonna get right to it. We are gonna be adding 1.5 cups of warm water, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, and it's Sunday, guys, so I apologize if my house is a bit on the noisy side. But I know many of you don't mind, and you know, I'm just a real mom at home making bread. All right, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to add 4 cups of bread flour to this. Now I'm going to run this through my sifter, so it's going to get a little bit loud, but I've noticed a huge difference in my breads when I sift it. So I'm going to just go ahead and add this to my sifter up top here. I know you guys don't see it, but I do have a video on it. There it is. So I'm not weighing it, I'm just sifting the flour through. So when I do this, I just noticed that my bread is so much lighter, the crumb is so much better. And then to this we're also going to be adding 2 tablespoons of powdered milk. I'm just going to, 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And then I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of softened butter. All right, so now that I've added everything, I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding some Italian blend seasonings to mine. You don't have to do this, but it does add some extra flavor to the bread. You can go ahead and for the longest time I just added sweet basil. You can add herb de Provence is really good in bread. Whatever you want to add. Today I'm going to be adding some of the sun-dried basil, and so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, but probably a teaspoon of that. And then I'm also going to be adding a parmesan blend, which is roasted garlic and cheese, and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of that as well. So now that I have everything blended and my flour is sifting in there, I got a little bit of flour left to sift. I'm going to go ahead and raise up my dough hook here. And then we're going to go ahead and let this knead together. Once this starts coming together, I'll knead this dough for 5 to 7 minutes. And when it comes to a dough ball, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, timer is up. I'll just show you my dough inside. And for those of you who are going to ask, I got this 4 seasoning blend at Aldi. Hey guys, so I'm going to get this rolled into a ball. It's going to then rise for 1 hour, and then we will roll it out and we will stuff it with pesto. Now, I bought my pesto at Aldi, but you can buy it at any grocery store, I'm sure. So, okay, that there. Oh, smells so good with those seasonings. And again, that's optional. You don't have to do that. And if you don't have an Aldi, you can make your own blend. You can use a blend. Maybe you find it at the grocery store. Like I said, most of the time I just use basil. You can use oregano. You can use anything that you love. So, I'm just going to go ahead. And now I'm going to roll that ball and kind of shape it. Hopefully you guys can see this. Sorry, I have my dishwasher running. I got dinner starting. All right, so there we go with that. Now what I'm going to do is put just a drizzle of olive oil in my bowl. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead and I'll let you see the dough ball there. Ooh, look at all the seasoning. I think that's a dried onion, or oh, that's a dried piece of garlic. Yeah, little pieces of garlic everywhere. Okay, so there's the bowl. We're gonna put it in, spin it, flip it, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a damp, I run it under hot water, damp towel on top of this. I'm gonna go ahead and set this in my oven on the proof setting for 1 hour. And when this is done proofing and rising, I will bring you guys back and we'll stuff it with some pesto. The timer is about to go off here, so I'm just going to shut it off. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh, so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. Look at that. Okay, make sure your hands are nice and washed. All right, we're gonna go ahead and deflate this. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it out. I'm gonna get my rolling pin. Okay, just a little bit of flour on my rolling pin here, and we're going to roll this out. And we're looking for a rectangle. In fact, let me grab my Pullman pan. Somebody asked me, how do they know what size to roll their bread out, their dough out to? This is what I do, guys. I just put my pan next to my dough, and I try to roll it about the same size, maybe a little bit longer because you'll be pushing in the ends, but about the same size as my pan. So use your pan, whatever pan you're using, let that be your guide to make your bread roll. Sorry, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. All right. So once we get it pretty rolled out, nice and even. All right, once we get it rolled out nice and even here, we're just gonna go ahead and kind of square it up. Okay. And then we're gonna get our pesto. Now, I am gonna do something fun, and I'm gonna do 2 different kinds of pestos. So I'm going to do the green one, which is the alla Genovese, I believe that's how you say it, pesto. And then I'm also going to be using a rosso pesto, which is a red pesto. Now, if you can only, you can make this homemade too. I'm not obviously making it homemade. I bought both of these at Aldi. So if you have an Aldi, that's where you can find it. Again, you should be able to find it at a grocery store. If you can only find the green, just use the green. If you want to make your own homemade, do that. Whichever you prefer. So I'm going to open these up here, and we're going to get this on our dough. So Matt is now filming for me because I had to change my battery. So I'm going to go ahead and just stir, give that a little stir. And what I'm going to do, now I've never done this before with 2 different kinds of pestos, so this is going to be fun. We're experimenting. I'm going to lay out 2 lines of pesto here for the red, and then I'm going to give the green a stir, and I'm going to do 2 lines of green. Ooh, it smells so good. This might be the most flavorful bread I've ever made. Get some more over here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, I'm just using a butter knife. You can use an offset spatula if you have one. No idea. All right, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of spreading it out. And then we're going to do the red. And then we're going to do the green. That smells good, doesn't it, Matt?
It does.
It is so flavorful. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we are going to roll this up. Ready? Nice and tight. Okay, and then when it comes to the end, I'm just gonna pull this up, pull it up and pinch, pull it up and pinch, pull it up and pinch. And it's fine if it's a little messy. It's kind of like the chocolate bread was pretty messy. In the end, it won't matter. So, try to pinch this as much as we can. And we're going to go ahead and tuck in the ends, bring it up, and pinch. And I'm going to do it the same on the other side.
Puppy's looking for some pesto.
He smells it. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, don't be afraid of your dough if it does this. Go ahead and flip it and then push it down. Kind of get it all sealed in there. Okay, now make sure your counter is very clean when you do this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to cut this in half. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of spin it this way so you can see it. Can you see that, Matt?
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to pinch the end together. Okay, the two ends together, and then we're just going to twist it. So make sure you cut it all the way through. This is messy. Twist.
You're on this twisted bread kick.
I am, and this is gonna work. It is. Watch, watch it.
I believe you 100%.
No doubt, this is gonna work, despite the messiness. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
And there that goes. All right, now let me clean this up first before I slide that over. Okay, so we're using. Don't use a soapy washcloth. We're just using
warm, wet.
Yep, a hot, damp. I want to show you guys how to clean this up. So when it's messy for you, you guys aren't fearful. Don't be scared. It's going to turn out beautiful. I have no doubt. Okay. So we're going to just clean up the edges. Okay. Okay, I ain't even going to worry about that because the bread's going to rise. Okay, so there it is on the inside. Now this is where you want to make sure your hands are clean. Just make sure that it's kind of put together and even, and it looks beautiful.
It does. So
we're going to let this rise for another half hour. I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Okay, and that's going to sit here for a half hour. And it's going to rise. I'm going to get another hot towel, wet towel to put over it. I'm going to set this on top of my stove as we preheat the oven. And in a half hour, I will bring you guys back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, so my timer is about to go off on that. So I'm going to shut that off. There is our bread. As you see, it rose beautifully. Hold on, let me turn on the light. Light is always good. Okay, so there we go. So you can see the red and the green. I think it's going to be beautiful. And then this is our dinner. This is going to be the baked ziti. It's already cooked, ready to go. It just needs to be heated up, and I'm going to put them in at the same time, 30 to 35 minutes at Well, I'm doing 425 for convection, so if you're doing just a regular oven, it would be 400 degrees. But we will bring this out when this is nice and golden brown. You can top this with an egg wash if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna roll with it and see how it turns out. And I will bring you back when we pull it out of the oven. Guys, here it is. And it's showing up much more of a green hue than it is in person, but we're gonna roll with it because it's still beautiful. I mean, it's pesto, right? Look at that. Look at that, right? And it's huge. Just for reference, it's my iPhone. It's huge. So there it is. Spin it around now. It just came out of the oven, so it's super hot, but we're gonna slice into it so I can show you what it looks like on the inside. And then here is the pasta dish that it's gonna go with. Of course, we're gonna serve it with a side salad, and then I'm gonna slice into this for you. It's really hot though, so let yours cool before you do yours, but we're gonna eat dinner, and so yeah, let me take a picture for Instagram, and then we'll slice into it. So we're gonna go ahead and attempt to slice into this, although it's very, very, very hot. So, but it's all right. It's smoking. It's smoking. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's gonna be pretty. All right, Con, take a test for us. Give you this little piece here. Ready? Is that good? Now that's a treat for you because you don't eat much bread anymore.
There you go. I'm gonna grab another piece here.
I know it's super hot. Sorry.
It just came out of the oven. Look how it's blended in, melted right into the crumb there.
My camera's on its last leg. There we go.
Look how it's melted in right into the crumb there. It's all swirled in.
Yeah.
That's the pesto all melted into the bread.
That's what's fun about making the twist breads, because it kind of goes all through it, and then I'll look how pretty it looks on top.
Start again.
I really need to do a bloopers video because I have a lot of them. Anyway, outtakes.
Anyway, those little things that you cut a scene with. Click.
Right. Anyway, guys, that is it. That is the twisted pesto bread. I hope you guys give it a try and let me know if you do. Of course, if you are on Instagram and you make one, just hashtag the Kneady Homesteader so that I can see it and I can share it on my Insta stories, which is so much fun to do. So anyway, guys, I will be seeing you soon. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And yeah, I'll be seeing you. Thanks.